Oh, wait. First of all, I want to say how nice this couch is.
What is that, velvet?
It's so comfortable.
That's nice.
It is so comfortable.
Aha.
Don't you like it?
You can't be walking around with the jiggle jiggle.
Ooh.
Jiggle jiggle jiggle.
I'm not listening to Mr. Larry Jordan, Mr.
You got the
So,
props.
all right, so
I
let's
like
dive in. We're about to dive in. Hello, and welcome to the Pandagasms show. I am your hyper hostess, Panda. Boop, boop, boop. And we have, is that the audience screaming?
Yeah.
Was that your audience scream?
Yeah.
I love it. I'm here for it. Do it again.
The crowd goes wild. Panda. You gotta put that in the edits now. Then you gotta echo it. Panda.
Yep. That's it. AV's listening and watching, so he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. The people have spoken, so we give the people what they like. Sometimes. Sometimes. Heavy on the sometimes. And today we have our lovely guest, Mr. Larry Jordan.
We gotta man that up. We gotta masculine that up.
But I'm not a man.
You didn't say lovely.
You was at the live. You heard me say I do not like being masculine.
Which is true, but
You heard me say, and it was one of the clips that went out this week. You heard me specifically say, but it's not a healthy compromise.
Daring, why? Because you don't want
So
a
hear me out.
male, you want
Oh
a
my
male
goodness.
woman
Oh my goodness.
thing already.
Oh my goodness.
See,
No.
look, I like when she scotch up.
It's not a male woman thing, okay? When it comes to compromise. First of all, let's continue introducing you before we dive into that. Even
Yes,
though it's
ma'am.
not one of our topics,
Yes.
you must have read my mind because I was thinking about that on the way driving to the studio today.
Okay.
So we could definitely touch on that because it's the Pandagasms show.
It's already a compromise. I like
and
that.
I have ADHD a little bit, and I like when I can jump around and do stuff like that, and it's
Likewise.
accepted and respected. It's
Likewise.
a twofer. So with that being said, I like to tease you and call you my mother named me Larry Jordan because that's what you say all the time
Yes.
on social media. So is it okay if I introduce you as that?
Definitely.
All right. So our lovely guest, my mother named me Larry Jordan.
Hey, what's up, sister?
What's up? Welcome to Pandagasms. Thank you for
having me.
coming.
Thank you for having me.
Happy early birthday. Shout out to all the Cancerians. Gang, gang.
It's a lot of us.
It is a lot of us.
It's a lot of us.
And I love us. I love when we're on the show together.
I got a scotch like you now. You know what?
Yes, get comfortable.
You know what it is about cancers?
What is it?
Cancer.
What is it?
We are very compatible intimately, but we can't be together.
So that may be true because I've heard so many things about the differences between male cancers and women cancer, and I'm like, I've
been with two.
I've only had male cancer friends, so I don't know what it's like to be with one in the romantic sense. And just from hearing the stories, I don't think I want to try
I've
it.
been with two. My first child's mother is July 7th, and I have a sister who's July 5th with me, my older sister. Yeah, two different beings, two different light
I'm all
years,
set.
two different thought patterns.
I'm good.
I personally don't get into the June cancer, July cancer thing.
There are differences, but
the male-female thing, yeah.
I've heard I'm okay with not testing the theory. I have an Aquarius right now, and I'm content. I'm happy with that.
And again, I haven't been with many that I know they're astrological or whatever, but in my personal experiences, the cancers that I have, very deep emotional beings. Intimacy was great as well, but then when it comes to just like talking and just the shortcuttings of answers and not willing to listen, and
so for me, I have those moments too, but for me, it varies on who the person is that I'm talking to. So I know that I do that. I do.
They didn't respect me then.
It's a possibility because that's usually who I do it to. If I don't care about what you have to say, I'm definitely cutting you off. Or there's two sides to that. I don't like back and forth. And if I feel like it's a hamster wheel and neither I nor you are coming to some sort of an understanding,
right,
I'll stop the conversation.
I'll shut off too.
I'll shut the conversation off. If we can't come to an mutual understanding where I understand what you're saying and you understand what I'm saying and we understand each other and respect what one another is saying, I'm not doing this with you. Anybody, not you in general, but
Right.
just I'm not doing this with anybody. So I will stop
I'm
the
have to
conversation.
counteract that because of what we went through earlier. I think that sometimes you might not compromise. You might be like when you're stuck in your head, when you feel.
So let's bring it back to the compromise.
You feel that you're right.
So let's bring it back to the compromise. It's not about me feeling that I'm right. It's about me feeling understood.
But
I'm okay with being wrong.
But what if? Okay.
I have a problem.
And that takes a lot for a woman to even vocalize.
And that's another thing for me. I don't like being categorized as because she's a woman.
Right.
Because I grew up hearing that you can't do this because you're a girl, you can't do that. I absolutely despise that. I understand why people do it and I get it.
Right.
And I try to remove the personal experiences out of it so that I don't feel away. But oh my God. I just feel it in my throat.
I'm about to say, you know you feel away. You know you feel away.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Because, but at the same time, I get it. I get it.
Sorry, you have to say pause.
Pause for what? Because somebody else feels a way about what I said. Take it how you want to take it.
My bad.
Take it how you want to take it. Do you understand my perspective and where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And in this moment, do you feel that I'm trying to say anything to intentionally make you feel away? Or do you feel like we're having a healthy conversation?
I feel the conversation is healthy, but I do feel you're defending your motive.
Absolutely.
Oh, because
defending or / explaining could be perspective is key.
Explaining, because I feel as though a lot of the times the conversation is held on an emotional level.
It can be.
So that is where the compromise is, where sometimes it's just like, I understand what you're saying, but that ain't the fact of the matter. You're rolling off the emotion of the matter. And that's where the conflict usually starts to happen, where it's about cancer, keeping it on the levels where the female shuts off, the male shuts off. They don't get nowhere but anger and maybe some angry sex afterwards.
So, which is the best part.
Yeah.
So learning through life, I have actually learning because of the podcast. I have learned you have to let people finish what they're saying.
Correct.
I definitely am one of those people that when someone is talking, I'm already ready to jump in.
Pinpointing everything.
Yeah.
Every sentence is like, all right, let me say something. Let me counteract that point.
Right.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Right. So that is one of the reasons why I absolutely love Pandagasms, because I did learn that through a guest, not a guest. Yeah, she was a guest on the show. And she was like, you guys have to listen to one another. You have to. That's one of the problems within our community. She is Caribbean descent, born in Guyana. And she said that is the problem within our community. We don't listen to one another.
Right.
And so when she said that, I was like, you know what?
We hear, but
you're right. I have to let people finish their complete thought, because one, they might be saying what I'm already about to say to that.
Yep.
And when I let them finish their thought, I may have, not only might they be saying something I might say, but then I can listen to their complete thought and then fully come to some sort of a sensible, logical response. Make sense?
If they're talking, because half the time when people are talking, I'm like, yo, this person's an idiot.
I start to tune out. I hear,
I'm like, yo, you said that already.
I'd be like, well, wait, this ain't making no sense. And when the music in my head stops, I know I have to exit stage left immediately.
Especially if you love the person and you're like,
man,
yo,
yeah, that makes so.
you're not supposed to be this
listen to you talk if I don't love you. If I don't love you, I'm not listening. I'm off. I'm off.
Ooh.
I might be physically there, but I am not there.
I want to bring up the end. This will be later.
It has to be later because we have to finish the compromise part.
That will go into the political thing where that.
It's funny that you mentioned the compromise part, because this is something we discussed in the past, and I definitely got crucified, and I don't mind. I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear.
So I do not believe in compromise because.
Oh, shoot.
Hear me out. I do not believe in compromise because if you are asking someone to do something different, it's for the benefit of yourself, right? If they wanted to do this certain thing, they would do it on their own, which in that case, they're now doing it for themselves. And in that case, it's now a healthy evolution for this person. It's growth within this person. If you're asking me to do something, listen to me. If you're asking me to do something, okay, And it's not something I'm used to doing. But I want to do it to appease you, to make you happy for whatever reason, because you're my man, you're my cousin, you're my brother, whatever way you show up for me in my life. You're asking me to do something that I typically do not do on my own normally. Right? But I'm gonna be like, because I care about this person, because I love them, because I'm going to do this. I'm going to compromise myself for this person.
You don't believe in that?
To me, I do not believe in that.
Okay.
Unless you as the individual want to do that particular thing on your own for you. You get what I mean? If you're doing it for you, it's a self thing.
So,
But if you're doing it for somebody else, God forbid that relationship doesn't work out, whatever that may be, you're gonna be like, I did this for you.
yeah.
Yes, I don't want that. I do not want that. I do not want anybody ever to be like, I did this XYZ because you wanted me to. Hey, you should be doing this behavior for you because you want to be this person. If you have to do this particular action for the benefit of having me in your life, please, Lord have mercy, don't do it. I beg you.
Can I say?
Do not do it.
Can I speak on that?
Because now you're becoming a person you don't even know or might not even like. Think about it. If you continue compromising, right? Now you're like, damn,
Y'all hear this,
who
people?
am I? Who am I? I've done made all these changes for this person or these people. I've done compromise. I've compromised so much that this is what the elders would say. I'm shitting out of my ass and giving out of my elbow. I've compromised myself so much. I'm not even functioning
You're just basing
how
that
I would
off.
normally function as an individual.
You're just basing that off if it doesn't work out.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
When people do these type of compromises, they become a person, sometimes, not all the time, please, not all the time. They become a person that they don't want to be or ever imagine being. Now they're this person.
That all
for
depends on the
other
person, because
people.
there's some people who really actually like doing for other people. There's
Then it's
people who's
genuine.
really, yeah.
That's not a compromise to me. To me, that's just growth. That's just you growing as a person to be better at who you are as an individual.
So
You're growing on your own accord.
respond.
You're growing
Let me
because
respond to your
you
comment.
want to be better.
Let me
not
respond to your
because
comment.
so-and-so said, I need to do this to be better.
It's not a matter of saying, yo, I need you to do so and so. It's just
That's
a matter
how I
of,
look at compromise.
hold on. It's just a matter of having a conversation or a discussion. Let's say it's head. We're going to go there. Let's say it's head.
Wait,
We're going to go there. Let's say it's head, right?
are we going to get the
Can a person, you edit it.
No, he don't need to edit it because you got my attention extra.
Let's say
there.
it's head. Because I know a lot of women who will say, I don't like giving head. I don't like giving head. I don't like sucking no dick. I know women who love it as well, but we're gonna go on the nay side. So now you have a man who love it, who like sits down with his woman one day and say, listen, babes, you know, when I like to fall asleep, you
With
know
it
what
in
I'm
my
saying?
mouth.
Yeah, I mean,
With it in your mouth.
I like the way the little back teeth feel, you know what I'm saying? I like the little rub. I like the little rub, you know? So,
Y'all see why I love me some Larry Jordan?
so you know what I'm
wasn't
saying?
even one of the
I
topics,
like
but-
it when in the esophagus, you understand? So, she now is going to say, just compromise with him and maybe be all right. Maybe you see, I don't like to do it, but my man like it. I'm gonna do it for him. Mm-hmm. I don't see nothing wrong with that, and vice
Neither do
versa.
I.
Vice versa on a level of he might be one of them sick hardback Jamaican man. Yeah, man, I eat a pum pum, and she might be like,
And you get him behind closed door and all he want to do is
honey, I want my yard. I need my thing, my stamp lick. You know what I mean? I need my stamp lick. Let me go there. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, all right, do for do. I love you, babes.
Go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead.
So in your mind, you're saying if you was that woman in that predicament, because you don't like to do it, you're not going to do it because that's a compromise for you. Because I don't want to. I don't care if he wants to. I don't care if he likes it and needs it. That's my man. That's we together. All them positive things. But fuck that. That's a compromise. I'm not fucking dealing with. That's what you're saying. Because
that is not what I said. I need you to listen once again.
I'm trying to get the
clarification. And I understand why you feel like that's all that you heard, because I get that a lot. I do. This isn't the first time I've had this conversation. I was expecting that response.
All right.
However, I said, when you make too many compromises, and now you're becoming a person you're not.
Okay. Just one after the next after the next. So then if he's like, listen, I want my toes
When you
sucked.
have to keep adjusting and adjusting
I don't
and
like
adjusting.
toes, and you're like, come on, nigga, I already
Now
got
you're
your
not.
balls, nigga.
You
Now
know
you
what I
want
mean?
toes, nigga. Oh, I get it.
Too many adjustments, you're no longer who you started off as in the relationship, whichever form it may be, platonic or romantic. You're going to evolve. Relationships do that.
Oh, definitely.
They do that.
Definitely.
However, are you evolving into a person that you're okay with? So that same woman, she might be like, I'm going to do it for my man. And now my dude is moaning and groaning. You know how much women love to hear their man moaning and groaning? So she may have been giving head to a man that never moaned or groaned. Why would she want to do it? She don't feel like it's being appreciated or he enjoys it. Now if she's down there and he's like,
maybe she sucks. Maybe she
and
needs
his
practice.
toes is curling and his eyes is in the back and he's bearing to life and praying to God. Of course she's gonna do it again. She may not like it, but the satisfaction that she's getting, the response she's getting from her man,
And
she's gonna do it again.
And he's gonna fall asleep. That's the best.
And he's gonna get what he wanted. So now it's a twofer. She feels appreciated and he's going to sleep happy.
All right.
We both made some type of adjustments where we both were able to get gratification from.
Yeah.
You wanted it asleep in my mouth. And I wanted to feel appreciated or you feeling satisfied. I wanted to know you felt satisfied. You did a little, So I said, and
I just want
happened?
everyone to see how y'all bring it back to an emotional factor.
And that's okay, because guess what? At the beginning of the day, that's a healthy compromise to me.
Okay.
Because
I'm all right. I'm glad you clarified that.
Yes, because now it's healthy. We both got what we wanted. You're not the only one that's satisfied. I'm not the only one that's satisfied. We both got something out of that.
So you can't do anything for him if there's nothing in return?
Not necessarily, because I typically start off as a person, I love to give. I love to do.
You're the initiator.
Right. I'm already, you probably be, I probably date somebody and they're looking at me like, oh my God, is she love bombing me?
I appreciate that.
I just like to do.
I like initiators.
So when I'm getting the timeout. Oh, the chair move. We don't want to. Ooh, I thought he had a. All right. It was just a healthy adjustment, a compromise.
See, another compromise.
A healthy one. But I did lose track of thought. What were we saying?
How about those Celtics?
Those Celtics, I don't watch sports, but I will if the person I likes to watch sports.
Compromise again?
I could get drinks. See, we both winning. I promise you.
You're a beer
so
drinker?
yes, I'm not transactional. That's what I was going with that. Usually, I'm naturally, if I'm into you or if I care about you, like you, this, that, and the third, I naturally just give to people, and I had to learn on that from just life.
Must there be a return in your investments?
No, there must not be a return.
Okay.
Well, it depends on what the return is. My return is appreciation.
Okay.
So if it's a tangible, like something I can hold or take back from whatever I've done for you, no. I just want appreciation.
Just want to look in the eye. I thank you.
A smile, a thank you. If that's it. If I could get that, I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I just want appreciation. You can't pay me for appreciation. There's no value. There's no dollar value to appreciation. So if it's something tangible,
These people out here, they don't appreciate
so somebody
anything.
feels like because I want to thank you in return is a problem, well, so be it. Then I'm gonna have to be a problem because I want a motherfucking thank you. I want a god darn thank you.
It's only right.
It's the little things. It's the little things. It's the little things. So are you happy that we were able to clarify that?
Definitely.
Okay. Do you have any more questions for me regarding that?
No.
Are you gonna come? Are you gonna come to the show July 11th about emotional awareness? Because I like how you try to bring it back. That I not all women do this, but I brought it back to it being emotional about feelings. I absolutely love that, and this is why we have conversations.
I can't.
You can't what?
Come July 11th. I'm being in Connecticut with the Beanie Man, Mr.
That's
Killer
all right.
show that I'm
That's all
hosting.
right. Because you know what? You support my show.
I do.
And support is free.
support
You be
you.
sharing the hell out of it on social
All
media.
right. I'm just
And
glad.
it's- and
See,
that's free.
appreciation.
And that's all I
See what I'm
ask
saying?
for.
That's all I'm saying.
If I was born with the male genitalia, it would always be at standpoint because I love appreciation.
I'm gonna leave
All
that
you
alone.
gotta do is tell me thank
She's telling
you.
me if she was me, she'd be walking around with a boner.
Yo, all day, just for somebody to be
so
like, thank
how
you.
uncomfortable would you be right now if I had a boner?
That's not my problem. You wouldn't know what I was thinking. Just say thank you.
No, you would be sore. You'd have been like,
Like,
listen,
oh my
cut.
God, yes.
5 minutes.
Yes.
Yo, go play with your
I'd be
dogs
so
or something.
excited.
Like,
But
why
I wouldn't want anything from you besides the thank you.
you just have a hard
I just
on.
love thank you. Thank you. Oh my God.
Boing. Fuck out of here.
I hope nobody uses this against me one day. I just love the little
Hey,
things
listen,
in life.
She's a woman, so if you want to get her moist,
I
say
just
thank you.
love the little things in life, like
And she's
the
taking
simple
too,
things,
so
the simple
don't
things.
even get it tied up. She's taking,
simple
so
things.
don't say thank you with aggression.
I'm taken and I'm territorial.
See how far this
AV,
space
don't
is.
make that face, AV.
See how far this space is.
Yo, this is one of the first
Mr.
episodes
Man,
in a long
you see,
time. I
the
have
space.
nothing to add, yo. I'm just gonna let y'all ride it out. This joint's crazy.
Don't worry, Mr. Man. There's somebody here in a green dress. I'm watching that.
Hey, back. But anyway, anywho, we're gonna actually dive into. Wait, did you have anything else you wanted to share before we dive into the actual topics? No,
Let's do
You
it.
sure? All right. So first and foremost, we are in July, and next month is Big Carnival in Boston.
Oh, there we
Hey, big carnival season
want me
in
in
Boston.
trouble.
I'm not getting you in trouble.
Nah.
I just like to have conversations for understanding. Just so if anyone is watching, I like understanding. You may receive it as me shaking the table, but I'm okay with that.
Jiggle,
I
jiggle.
need understanding because
Okay.
I don't understand why there is so much headache and bacchanal and controversy in the city of Boston regarding Boston Carnival. I don't understand it. I don't. I be on social media scrolling and all the local DJs are against each other and I don't understand why because y'all are all from the same chicken coop. I don't get it. I don't understand. If anything, we really should be trying to work together, which I need some understanding. I need help understanding why there is so much controversy when there is enough money out here to be made for everybody.
But before you guys answer that, can I just do the due diligence? Spark FM, neither Pandagasms are responsible for what will be said
Yes.
next.
Yes, no.
right.
The
This
thoughts
is-
of Larry Jordan is not the thoughts of Spark, anyone else, no entity, no business, anything.
Or
associated.
Pandagasms. That's
or
Pandagasms.
However, people
Or
will be
anything
people,
affiliated.
and they are going to hear what they want to hear.
These are solely the words
there is
of
that.
Larry Jordan.
This is your perspective because
My Russell opinion.
you're realist.
My realist.
You changed it.
I'm not in the political world no more, so I'm back to
Are
Russell.
you not going back?
In 2 years.
See, the fact that you have it as a thought process to possibly go back, we don't want to ruin that image of you. So we're going to leave it at just your
All right,
realist opinion.
All right, we can do that.
Support is support. You feel me?
No doubt. I'm
I
not
would
arguing.
like for you to go back into the political race and actually have an opportunity to win.
We'll chat.
Okay? So with that being said, just your realist opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You see that? Accountability. And he was like, I feel you, Panda.
That wasn't a compromise. I just gave in.
You just-
your buckles.
Did you feel like that was going to be a hamster wheel?
I just go through it every day where people just like,
No,
Larry.
I don't want you to.
No,
lose.
and I
want
understand.
you to have a good, fair chance,
I'll accept
especially
that.
as a black man. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna go out there running for office, and they're gonna be like, "He's a black man. We can't listen."
We will chat.
Okay.
I'll give you my realist opinion
All right.
in a little bit.
All right. So
But the carnival.
Let's go back to carnival.
You said something about money and everything.
So I don't understand why there is one particular person, Shirley, that people don't want to work with. And there's so much controversy with working with this one particular person that I don't understand why people don't want to work with them.
I always start off by saying, would you enter a race or a competition where you don't know what you're winning?
No. There's always like first prize, second prize, third prize. Whenever you enter into a competition or a race or contest, anything of that sort.
Okay. So I can say this from my experience as a DJ for 13 years in the carnival, as having my own mass band in the carnival for 4 years.
What was your mass band's name?
International Masqueraders,
Okay.
IMAS for short.
That's a lot of work. Shout out to you.
And just being in the mix before that, I can say this with no disrespect, just from being just being the cunt myself. Anybody joining the Boston Carnival, you're a cunt because you're joining. Nobody knows what they're going to win this year. People from last year didn't even know what, just now getting paid. And it's like, to go back into my experiences, when I was in there for 4 years, I honestly won first place, but she would never give it to me. So she always gave me second. So in my situations, the first year I won $800 in second place. All the years, all 4 years, I won $800 in second place. But mind you, Carnival is in August. Mm-hmm. We get paid in January.
Okay.
In this hold on.
I have so many questions.
And in this whole time, we don't know what we're going to get paid. So then when we finally get a check in January time, things or excuses like, this is what we had from the budget and so forth. This just a bunch of cockamamie excuses. And what can you do but take the money? Now, mind you, my smallest costume probably ran me like $300-400. So
Right.
imagine my big piece. I had like 4 or 5 big pieces costing me like in materials about $1,200-1,300, and
Yes,
parents
costumes
paying
are
me about
expensive.
$2,000. So for you to give me $800,
Is a slap in the face.
and I paid $300 to enter.
And then when there's like 35 bands, because that's what it used to be.
At this time, it was 13, 14.
Still enough.
Still enough. 13 times 3.
I did exaggerate to just add
but
some extra emphasis. However, but I get what you're I get what you're saying.
people think I'm disrespectful. People think that, I'm just totally negative to the situation. But what it is I was disrespected by them, by the things that they've done, the excuses that they gave. And, I can go into history and story after story, but that's not what this is about. It's just getting to the fact of the matter of this year, 2025, there's a new entity. There's new mass bands coming out, new Juve bands coming out. And I once was them. I love the culture. I love the mass making. I had that passion. Mm-hmm. But once I experienced the business side, that was a spit in the face. So I say what I say now is like, don't get spit in the face like me. And they watch me stand in front of these people and say everything that I'm saying now. Nobody has ever, if anything that I've said was a lie, they would have really tried to tarnish my name. They would have said, this guy is exaggerating, this guy is this and that. The most they could say is, I don't like that nigga Larry.
Going down the rabbit hole
Something
of my
financial.
thought process.
Something.
Right. You're expecting that because it's a
trophy.
contest. Something, anything, some form of acknowledgement.
Right.
I get that. All right.
I must say, to an entity that's getting hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right. All of this is being taken into account as we sit here and I think and process all of this at once. Because sometimes I'm a little delayed,
But that's why I had to say that part. Like, yeah, there's money there. So at this time, where my situation, there wasn't this hundreds
All
of
right.
thousands, but now, yeah.
So now that we know that people are agreeant with you, do you think now that after you've experienced this and others have experienced this, that because you are speaking up against it and not being a yes man,
I know where you're going.
people can't take the accountability or hold themselves responsible for the lack of that they're trying to produce to the community?
What the problem is when, especially West Indian people. Again,
So I was trying not to do
I
that
don't
because
care. Especially West
I was trying to
Indian
play
people,
it safe with language,
because
but
this is a
because we are
Caribbean thing.
talking about a Caribbean thing,
I'ma speak about Caribbean people.
Speaking about Caribbean people in this moment because it's specific to this matter. AV.
I just want to say one thing though. There's also Caribbean people fighting to change it. You know what I'm saying? So
But I didn't even say what I was going to say yet.
All right.
I agree.
And you're
Right,
correctly,
I'm
you're
trying to get
100%
there.
right. But let me
I'm
say
trying
this.
to get there.
When it's time to speak in front of authority,
They don't.
our people are scared.
They don't. They
Everybody
don't.
has
And this is
all
where I
the
was going
answers,
with that.
all the conversation.
lot
We should
of
do this and
people-
that. Boy, they do this to me and this and that.
Again.
All right, cool.
Absolutely.
When it's and this is the forefathers and people before me that she was screwing, people my time. So now you got an idiot like me who won't be afraid to stand up in front of them. But you gotta have a little backing, especially with those factual people to say, yeah, you're doing it to them, you did it to us too. Maybe the people might listen. When it's time to step in front of people, well, boy, I have to work tomorrow. Well, boy,
I have bills to pay.
Well, you know what's going on, boy. It's
You don't
voting
understand.
season, and
What does have
my
to mind with
business needs to
business?
get a grant, so I don't want to put my name on the paper, and just a whole bunch of stuff where
The excuses.
The
Because that's what I consider them to be.
the
Do you agree?
excuses- No, they're
All right. So they are excuses why
Excuses.
people don't speak up loud. Everybody has their reasonings for why they don't do something. And I would love for more people to be able to come out because I just see the controversy. I don't know the politics behind it. And so
Now-
this is why I was trying to get people on who actually aren't afraid to voice
thing is
their
now, again,
honest opinion.
The thing is now the
And don't mind the
generation,
attacks.
the generation now doesn't care or
Because
know.
they don't understand.
So if we don't have them on board and they participate, then
So my
what
thing
we're
is this.
saying is kind of null and void.
It's null and void in the moment because the same way everybody is starting off with the passion to try to save the culture, they're going to experience what you just experienced and they're going to lose that passion for wanting to save the culture. There's probably about 3 of y'all out here that are actually voicing their voices out there to try to save Boston Carnival. You know, Danielle Johnson.
Publicly.
This
Everybody
is what I'm saying.
is in the private.
This
but
is what I'm
public,
saying.
yeah.
You'll hear about a lot of people talking about it behind closed doors, but then when the time comes to go to meetings or to put it up there socially, wherever, however they may be, they're not doing it. They're standing down and giving the excuses. You know, sometimes this isn't about politics or Boston Carnival, but when I do partake in events that happen in the city and I say how the event may have flopped because the music was trash, they try to shut my mic off. This is my show now. You can't shut my mic off. You
At
feel
all.
me? So not only is Boston Carnival, at a forefront where it's at the possibility of being lost and the culture is being gone because no one no longer is really keeping that passion alive because of the politics behind it. The events surrounding Boston Carnival are also going down the drain.
The whole vibe.
The whole everything. And the reason why the younger generation is just doing it because, again, the experience. We grew up when it was still a vibe, when it was lit, when it was like a thing where we was partying from Wednesday to Sunday and going to work on Monday with wristbands like nothing
But
happened.
we were the culture. All right.
So what happened to us then? So let's take accountability.
We
What happened to
are
us?
all right, it's our fault because we really didn't
'Cause we tired?
spread it to them. But this new culture is like one parent is from Barbados, the other one's from South Carolina.
Okay.
They don't really know
All right.
the true culture. So everything to them
Hold
is
on.
internet based. It's just like
So do they not know it because they don't want to know it? Because I'm pretty sure those conversations are
Nothing
being
is
had in the
authentic.
house. I'm pretty sure those conversations were being had and one or the other or both were not listening.
just
So that's
nothing
why
is
they may not
authentic.
know. I don't know. I can't say
Just
I can't say
nothing is
nothing.
authentic.
I can't say
All
nothing.
right, put it like this. Speaking with a gentleman earlier, he's Haitian that don't know Creole. I know Creole. I'm from Barbados. I know Hondurans who don't know Spanish. My son is half Haitian. He don't know Creole. So that's just to my point where when we were growing up back then, it was just like if you was in the house, you knew Creole. Grandma was telling you, don't speak Papa
Don't speak
Creole.
English, right.
You know what I'm saying? And then me now in my,
Right.
my predicament, I was getting sent home a lot. Everybody in those times was getting sent home a lot. These kids nowadays only going to vacation if they're going.
All
so
right.
it's, the culture is gone.
So before we dive into that, because that can be the segue into our next topic, are we done about Boston Carnival and the scenes around it? Let's wrap up
yeah,
this before we dive into the next. Do you
to
feel like
end
it's
it-
beating a dead horse Do you feel like the
Yeah.
culture is just completely gone because everybody starts off with the passion and then once
I
they
do, but
experience
I
the
know
politics?
that there's an entity that doesn't. Like those bands who are coming into the I'm putting out my bands, and you know me, I'm gonna say names, the Zouaves and those people who are carnival, Larry, you're a bad mind, Larry, you're negative Nancy, Larry. They're gonna push it, but for me, I look back and I just hope that. Again, the day after Carnival, when that $3,000-$4,000 is spent, and you still owe money to this man, because I've been through it. You still owe money to this man, and this bill ain't paid, and because people are paying bills till December in this Carnival stuff. So when all of that is done, I just hope people are honest with themselves to be like, I love it, but it ain't worth it, man.
Do you think that's why the band launching stopped? Because a lot of the times that's how the bands made money. There's a possibility they knew they were never going to see that trophy money, so they had to make their money on their own. I don't know. There's so much here to unravel that it's more than an hour.
You just answered your own question.
All right. So as we wrap this up, quick questions as we dive into the next segue for the next topic.
Yes, dear.
Because we are still referencing the Caribbean community, do you feel like whenever someone speaks out against the things that are happening, all of a sudden you're being negative, you're being bad mind because you're going against the grain?
Yes, I have a negative stigma over my head because of the whole Carnival thing. Yeah, especially to the uninformed. I met a Caucasian person on the political trail, and it was just weird how they randomly started talking about the Carnival, and this person was just
uneducated or
just uninformed.
Okay.
First, the person said, and I'll say names because I'm not in no more. Just, you're looking for a signature, but I love what Brian Worrell's doing. And this was in the Lower Mills area. Since I moved in this area, he's helped me get a street light right here, and he's put speed bumps on the road. And in my head, I'm like, the mayor does that, but I'm gonna let this idiot talk, right? And he kept going, and then he's like, and what he's done for the Carnival, and him and Shirley, and so my eyes widen up, and I'm like,
the way mine just did.
So I'm just want to see where he goes with it, and he's yapping for like 5 minutes, and then I asked him like, so when's the last time you've been to the Carnival? On my mother's soul, I've never been, but I've heard it's great. Since Shirley's been there, there's been a reduce in violence because every time I've watched the news, and I'm sitting there like, this dude is a moron. And then he still gave me a signature though, but I just sat there and I listened. And I was like, in my head, shut the fuck up, Larry. Shut the fuck up, Larry.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Because it's just going to be a pointless conversation.
It's going to be a hamster wheel.
Yeah, I was just like,
you saw the hamster wheel.
He thought Brian Worrell put the speed bumps in the traffic light. Why would I continue this conversation?
We're not going to entertain that.
Yeah, why would I continue?
We're not going to entertain that in this moment. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen right now in this moment, since it's in the past anyway. Wow. And there's no.
And I was like, where did he memorize Shirley's name from? I was like, you've never been to the Carnival, but you know her name, and you was with the whole. Yeah, she's done so much for the violence.
That's a conversation off camera. Oh. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
But again, that was just how.
So yeah, back to the accountability. You just don't think that's something that happens within our community often?
No.
Especially
with our melanated people.
Yeah, I definitely know it's a people problem, but since we're talking specifically about
and the Caribbean people are even more scared.
Yeah,
especially if they don't got no papers.
Because I even look at my parents and I'd be like, they lacked accountability. Like they don't take responsibility for most of the things they do wrong. They do not,
and they don't even understand.
They'll just cook something for you, or clean something, or
or not,
give you or whatever. They try to do something nice when they know that they messed up. But that's another
people in a whole. I've noticed the world is don't want to lay the blame on someone else. Most
of the time, there are people out there that want to put the blame on someone else, and then there are people that be like, you know what, I did that, and I'm sorry. How can I fix it?
I'm a fuck up, so I'll say it. Like, yeah, my bad.
We're all mess ups.
How can I
Why do you think people go to church?
Rectify the situation.
It's a house for sinners.
See, I don't go to church.
That's another conversation for another day. Anyway,
don't do that. Don't do that.
We was about to dive into is the American dream, the quote unquote American dream, because I'm first generation Honduran American, right?
Hear the deep
Were you
breath.
born
This
and
is a
raised
sign.
here?
I was born here.
You were born here, so you're
I
first generation
raised
Bayesian
both-
American.
Correct. Yeah, I was born here so they could get their papers.
Whatever it
What
took.
Trump just
Whatever
stopped.
it took.
Whatever
right?
Trump just stopped. Yeah, but
And
no. Yeah.
And a lot of people came to America for the American dream, the white picket fence, the nice car, the full bank account.
What's that?
And as a born and raised American who has Caribbean descent, we're telling our family, don't come here.
No, my family's telling me, why the fuck I want to go to America for? And I was
Exactly.
like, I thought, no, honestly, like
The American
my
dream is not the
cousins
American dream.
who are 25 to 35, before that, it was just, America's the place to be. Everybody's like, boy, I waking up to the sea, boy. Why go to America for?
They want to come to the States.
They
It's like,
came-
why you want to come here?
Not even now. Nah, not no more.
I'm saying from my experience, that's what I was, heard
Biggins?
growing up.
They just come to America. They visit New York for 2 weeks, and they're like, why the hell am I going to America for?
Besides the cold, a lot of people want to come to America, and it's like, don't come here.
All the West Indians I know
We
back home.
trying to come where you live.
Yeah, that's retirement plans.
Retirement. I want to retire so I can leave and get nice health care benefits.
Honestly, my parents included, my father included, a lot of the West Indians I know who want to go home are not going back home because of the healthcare. Especially in Boston, they're like, yo, we have the best candy world here, boy.
We used to.
If I fall down in Barbados, I'm dead. You know what
If
I'm
you
saying?
fall down in America these days under administration, we have you dead too.
Ooh.
So I'm just saying, back in the day, it was
Let me sip my tea
probably
on that.
the American dream for foreigners. However, now under the administration that we are under, the American dream is nowhere near what.
You know where I go to the hospital? I go to Newton. I don't even go to the hospital in Boston, bro. No, one because when I walk in there, it's like, yo, what's up, Larry? What's up, Larry? Oh man, yo, what's up, dog?
You see everybody you know.
And two is like, you can't even make an appointment in nothing around here. And they were like, oh, my earliest is September 35th. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
because we have the methadone mile. So the problem is that Boston does have
And Dorchester don't have a hospital, so
right, because Kearney's gone. Well, that was Killerman Hospital, but it's still gone.
that was one of my political points. Here's to end just one point. We don't have a place to stabilize. That's my point. I know we don't have a hospital, but if you do get major injury, shot, stabbed, or anything, they might not be able to save you per se, but at least they could stabilize
start,
you
to get you at
into
least-
an ambulance, to
Yeah,
get
to
you
get
to
you somewhere
that
better.
place. We don't even have that.
We don't have that anymore.
You stub your toe, you are
get that.
dead. If you can't get to
Yeah.
Milton,
This is very true.
You're
and
dead.
it goes hand in hand.
it's a messed up joke, but it's reality.
It goes hand in hand with both topics. You running for office because you saw the issues in the community.
Yep.
As a first generation Caribbean person, and seeing that the American dream is false. It's not realistic. This is what it's like.
It's a
Disney.
facade.
The American dream is like Disney for young girls. Fake. It's fake.
Yeah.
The Disney dream that they feed us is the foolishness that they feed the citizens of America of this American dream.
It's funny that you say that.
hogwash.
My father tried to give me a speech like a month ago, and he got to the point where he said, I had my first house when I was 32, and this is
Yeah,
that.
but it costs 25 cents.
And you was on the HUD program.
You feel me, bro? Like it costs 25 cents.
I'm like, the house
know
was
how-
85,000, and honestly, I remember rent being like 600 back then, and it's like,
Listen.
and they wasn't worried about no 50-50.
A room, right? They was not worried about 50-50, but that's another conversation for another day.
You
Because
know what I mean?
that was mental abuse. That's why they wasn't worried about 50-50. That was abuse.
We're gonna go back into the emotional.
We're not gonna go there. I'm feeling triggered. My toes is curling.
Yo,
We gotta
she
get
was
out of
about
this
to
conversation
swing on me.
fast.
But but as I was saying, I was telling him like the opportunities was there because the same house you bought for 85. Because I'm a nosy bum. I went into the files. I'm
That's
like,
not being nosy. That's doing your due diligence as an adult.
at 80 something, when you bought this something for 80 something grand, and now it's 235.
Million.
You expect me? No, it's really 235,000. So I'm like, little BS condo. I'm like, I touch the walls when I do like this. Like I'm like, I get it, but how do you expect for me, a single guy? I don't have no companion. I don't have no 50-50. So when I go for these mortgages and stuff, they're like, yeah, but
The income requirements.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and that will be there, but it's just like I don't have a co-signer. I don't have nobody else. So
You know what I am hearing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing that you need to connect with Kings and Queens Consulting.
Oh, God.
We had them on our show, and you can definitely be eligible for a home through the NACA
I
program.
already did the home fire
And
program.
they can get
Cool.
you in it, baby. They can get you in it.
All right, we can link that up.
I'm gonna connect you with the right people because Whitney, she's bad.
We could do that.
They're a good team. She gonna get you right.
So
and
that's
look,
just-
Hobby's
it's
nodding his
hard.
head in agreement. They could get you right.
It's just as compared to then how
I get
these
it.
people talk now.
Absolutely.
They think we could just walk
Absolutely.
into something. I'm like,
What we are experiencing now, our parents did not. They did, but they didn't. You know, they did, but they didn't.
I could attest to some of the single mothers that went out there and did it by themselves. And, you know, I know a lot of people that had to do what they had to do, move out to Taunton, move out to where it met their budget. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I'm
but
trying
that
to,
wasn't what they wanted.
again,
And that's
so
the thing. I would like to buy in the city of Boston because that's what I want. However, I may be pushed out of the city as well because the cost of living.
yep.
And it's not an ego thing. Well, and maybe it is. Who knows? I don't know. If that's how people receive it,
just
they
think
receive it that
when-
way. I would love to be
get
able
in
to
the
say
game.
I did this.
Just get in the game. Just get in one. Make sure you can get in one house. Make sure you can maintain it. Sell quick, make a little profit. Then get in the first house ain't gonna be. This is just my opinion. Your first house ain't gonna be your golden ticket.
Right,
so just
yeah.
use that for the little financial gain, and then
Move on to
utilize
something
that.
bigger
Yeah,
and better.
or you make that income property, and
Yeah.
then. But see, personally, I don't want no landlord. I don't want to be a landlord. I don't like people. I don't want people's problems to become mine.
And being a landlord, they definitely and yes, that is a good suggestion from the audience.
What's that?
You get a real estate agent.
Yeah, I know
Property
a lot of them. I
management.
know a lot of those,
Listen.
but still,
I just had this.
you gotta pay them now.
Go ahead, hold on. That's what I was just about to
Yo,
say.
that
before.
Section 8 check hit different. I know a couple people.
Listen.
that
My
are the
sister
same.
moved in, bought a house that had a tenant on the first floor that was kind of like in the same situation. And basically that first floor is paying the mortgage.
It
and
does.
it's her and her husband. And I was like, in those situations, it's dope. That's what's like cool when it's just like you have that
A good
honorable tenant.
Exactly.
And
That's where the kicker is. If you're going to have a good tenant, but that you could have a market value tenant that's trash also.
because I
So
know I
just
know
don't
a lady who
understand.
took 2 years to get a person out to her first floor.
See, so
And then they trashed it.
look, there's a lot of ands, ifs, and buts with life.
So I don't want to be a landlord. I kind of just want to like get like a 2-3 family and just put my sister on one floor, put my nephew or my brother on one floor, that type thing. But then you know how family businesses
Listen, because
get.
I was thinking it.
You know how family does get.
Go ahead.
I just want to help y'all get on track
AV.
again, and I think that's a perfect why, and it kind of connects to the conversation you had about carnival, about the community, about the culture, right? We all come from big families.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
do.
My family, like I'm fortunate enough to be in a family. We take care of each other, both on my side and my wife's side, right? Like,
I love that for y'all.
bro,
And-
it's
Lucky
it's
you.
real, right? Like, I work with family. You know what I mean? Like, why in a city with immigrants and people that have large families, like, why are so many people struggling to find home, shelter,
Genuine
like,
support.
yeah? What is that? Why? Like, and I know you got an opinion.
It's just every family's different. That generational thing. Because I was living on my own since I was 17. You know what I mean? I went back home about 2 months ago, just on the level of chilling with pops. But I'm gonna be out of there very soon. But it's a generation thing because it was just like everybody that I grew up with. By the time we hit 19, 20, all of our fathers is like, "You getting out of this house."
You see, and that's one thing. Go ahead. Finish, 'cause
Now
that's where I
it's
was
like
going.
I would never kick my kids out the crib. I would never.
Listen, I used to say that till I had them.
Yeah, and you know, I was homeless. I slept
Be
in my
mad, I
car
don't
for
give-
damn
I don't
near a
care.
year. I did things, but it made me a better man. So I appreciate my livelihood, the things that I've been through, where it made me a person. But these this generation ain't built like us.
They're not, because they're disrespectful.
They can't. Some like my kids aren't, so I can't say that because I think my kids are kind of scared of me. But but you know, it's a matter of just showing that support, because I've never had that financial teaching. I've never had that. It was just, you have to go to school. I ain't go. You know what I mean? So now that the generation is different, where these kids know about making money in different avenues, different ways, internet, social media,
because of TikTok. Well, go ahead.
so many ways that they have different financial means, they can and might be more up to live out in search and stuff, but we don't teach our kids certain things. We allow certain things to teach our kids that leave them stuck.
So I have a lot to say to a lot of what you said, but I'm going to go off of what I remember. I do feel like there are parents out there that are trying to teach their children things that they didn't learn and trying to teach them at an earlier age. These kids just hard-headed and they don't want to listen. So there's that perspective of it. Growing up in a Caribbean household where I don't think you had to be 18 to be on the threshold of about to be kicked out. You just had to be disrespectful. You could have been 2 and been disrespectful.
Yeah.
They was putting you out.
Yeah.
So I wholeheartedly understand why, depending on the story, as I grow through life and listen to everyone's story, everything is situational.
Right.
Because there are some parents that are definitely out there.
I deserve to be kicked out. I wouldn't say that. But
you knew there's kids out here that deserve to be kicked out because they really and truly feel that they know it all. So you have to, what I'm also learning through life, just remove your ego and let people be. Let them exist. Let them learn on their own. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
So me as an adult now, I do that. But back then.
Right. Now. So there's a lot of perspective to that.
Do they have to be kicked out? Which I understand that.
And
or
the
is
means
it that there's,
of how you put them out. You know what I'm saying?
And it could be that there's some intervention that they need that's not available.
What if you
Thank
tried
you.
those interventions
What if
that were available, and because they're not in the space of receiving those interventions, that it's not working?
When you speak it to people of a different generation, they don't compromise like how we, like all the stuff that we talk about now, them old people don't want, I don't want to hear that shit. Listen, I tell you one time. That's what I tell you.
When you don't hear, you just feel.
My father.
Because
my
how
mom,
much are you supposed to speak?
It was like,
how many times are you supposed to speak?
Or just a matter of the elder speaking and you just wanted to have an opinion. You can't even have that with them.
No, you couldn't. You couldn't, because to this day,
what you talking back?
To this day, I still have that
I told
challenge.
you I live with my pops now, and he say some shit, and afterwards I'll be like, you know what? If I say something, he gonna say something back.
It's a hamster wheel.
I'm sorry.
And you see the same way how you and I are sitting here having a conversation, cool, calm, and collect. I would be having the same type of tone, demeanor, everything. And
I just walk away.
Goes left real quick.
I just walk away.
I just don't start it.
When I see he's adamant too, he's like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
And then I just walk away.
When I have the Deborah Cox, how did we get here?
Yo, the other day he spazzed about a dog. And I said,
if I don't know how we got here, baby, I'm leaving.
He said, yo, your dog is barking and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, the vein came out in his throat.
I'm checking out.
I said, how did we get here?
But then it's funny because them same Caribbean men whose veins be popping out their neck, who you talking to so? It's so funny.
Gotta love him, man.
I definitely hope you guys come out to the live July 11th. Right
Happy
here.
belated.
Is it July? Oh, for me, thank you. Happy early birthday.
Yeah.
But yes, I hope you guys come out. It is a show about it's a show about emotional awareness. And there's a lot of reasons as to why I decided to use that as a topic. I just feel like it's a huge disconnect.
Are you aware of your emotions?
I am. I'm always aware of my emotions. I know when I'm happy. So I know why those emotions are happening. It's all on if the person is willing to listen to me and if they're about to tell me about me.
But if they agree.
So it depends.
If they disagree, is that the problem?
No, it's never a problem. I'm always open into listening. For me, it's about your body language and your tone. How you talking to me? Like, if you wanted to tell me about me, I would listen, because when you don't know me in different perspectives, in different fields, you know what I mean? So I would listen to how, in whatever moment you may be receiving me, and if you're willing to listen on how, because on how I can tell you, like, yeah, I know I don't do this. I know I don't do that, whatever. But we could talk about that off air. But yes, I have no problem. I'd be like, yeah, I know. I'm like that. I'm being a brat. I made a whole song about myself being a
thanks
brat.
for the admission. That's all.
I have a whole song about me being a brat. Off air, I'm going to let you hear it. I promise you. I have a whole song. A whole song.
God bless
I know
you,
when
man.
I'm being a
Rude
brat.
boy. God bless you here.
I do.
God bless
I do.
you.
So back to the show about emotional awareness, and it more than likely will have self accountability involved in it. Come out to the pop up.
Is it going to be a lot of women here? You got to have at least 3 dudes.
There will be a nice mix of everyone because
You
we
gotta have at
do
least
have
3
a male
dudes.
on the
'Cause
panel.
The last show I came to,
We do have a male on the panel. We do have a male
woman
that purchased a
opinion-
ticket.
That woman opinion was very strong. I was like,
And
can
I'm
I-
so happy that you spoke up. But anyway, can I finish promoting the pop up real quick?
Go ahead.
Without interruption?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mr. Larry Jordan. Your children are calling you too.
Yeah, I hear them.
So with that being said, come out Wednesday. I know it's a Wednesday, but we all like a little mix and mingle in the middle of the week to get over that hump. Spark FM here at the Spark FM studios. Pandagasms is having a quick pop-up about emotional awareness. Come out, buy your tickets on Eventbrite. It is from 7:30 to 9 p.m. with light refreshments. The bar will be open. Come out, tell a friend, tell a friend. See you then.
Bartender's heavy-handed.